yet today, but we'll figure that out. Everything you see on screen, I'm going to send you as a PDF at the end of the lesson. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't take notes or be involved. This is meant to be dynamic, interactive, back and forth. You're supposed to ask questions. I'd like you to participate, ask you some questions at some point, but um, please don't think that I just want to project to you for the duration of our lesson today. Like it's meant to be, going back and forth, taking notes, so on. Second thing is I'm screen recording. So everything you see on my screen, I'm going to upload to my YouTube channel for my business. So please subscribe. Please like your videos. I mean, why not? They're your videos. You should like them. We can work on whatever you want during the lesson today. Now, I know I've got a list of stuff here. When I talk to your mom, I know your situation's a little different. Like you're not getting homework in the classroom. That's weird, but that's what we got. Anything you have to help me out to generate a lesson is best. Like I have no idea what you've been working on in the classroom. So until you tell me what you want to work on, I really won't know. Mom and dad could figure that out too. They can help me with something, but I just need that starting point. And if you ever like have something you do want to work on, just let me know. That way we can get to it first. All right.
Okay.
Any questions before we get started?
Uh, Not really, but so what I'm struggling with right now is equations with variables on both sides. So like
Yep.
three
Good.
point so an example of this equation would be 3.4x equals 3.1x plus 3.9. So
Okay.
it's like, yeah.
Got it. Got it. We'll do some problems like this. We're going to start with some that don't have decimals before that. But yeah, that's
Okay.
good. Okay, perfect. Do you have a notebook out, pencil and paper?
I do.
Excellent. All right. Now I do jump off camera for the lessons, more for me than for you. But yeah, let's take a look here. So you mentioned that variables on
Uh,
both sides of the equation. Question?
no.
Okay. Okay, so let's say it's something like the 6x equals 3x minus 8. Okay.
Mhm.
So the right strategy is you always move the smaller to the larger.
Okay.
And smaller in this case means more to the left on the number line. Okay, so like if this is 3 and this is 6, which is smaller?
Three.
Right. And so sometimes this is unclear, especially when we get to some negatives, but it's the one that's more to the left on the number line. That's what is meant by smaller. Okay. So I'm going to reframe this question here. Let's grab it and snip it down. So is the 3x positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. So we undo it with subtraction. 3x equals, what do I bring down from the right?
The -8.
-8. Good. And then how do you undo this 3 in front of the x?
You do over 3 or plus 3? Or no,
You
minus 3.
divide.
Oh,
So
I
you
divide by 3.
undo multiplication with division, you undo division with multiplication, and so on.
Mhm.
If you can reduce it, you should. In this case, you cannot.
Mhm.
All right. So that's
Okay.
an example. Let's look at another example. Let's say it's negative 7x equals negative 3x. Let me put a 5 here, plus 5. 5 plus negative 7x equals negative 3x. Which
Mhm.
is smaller, the negative 7x or the negative 3x?
The -7, right?
Yeah, so now how do you undo subtraction or negatives in this case?
You add by a positive.
Yeah, you add 7x to both sides. Tell me what the left side of the equation becomes.
5 plus uh 4x, right?
Well, what I'm looking at is negative 7x plus 7x. Aren't those completely opposite of each other?
Yeah, so you just like cancel out those, right?
The idea is you're undoing, so it goes away completely.
Oh,
And on the right-hand side,
uh 4x.
4x, okay? Now look at the side with the variable. You always look at the side with the variable, not the side without it. Very important because you'll get distracted. Just look at the 4x. What's the math operation between the 4 and the x?
Right, so like how to like just divide by 4?
Yeah, now you answered my question. The next question was just how do you undo it? But like it's either added to x, subtracted x, divided x, or multiplying x. In this case, it's multiplying. How do you undo multiplication?
Yeah, by the opposite, which is division.
It is division. Yeah, so divide by 4. What does x equal in this case? Can you reduce that fraction?
No, yeah, no.
So what does it become? How would you write it
Or
in your class?
x equals 4 over, I mean 5 over 4, I think.
5/4. Good. Okay. All right. So let's look at another problem here. Uh, we'll get to your decimal problems at some point, maybe, hopefully, but we got to build up to it. So here's a new problem. It's slightly different than previous problems. Which is smaller, the 5a or the 4a?
The 4a.
Okay, so how do you move it to the left? What's the math operation?
Move it to the to the left by removing the variables, I think.
Okay, give me an operator. These are the 4 operators that you know.
Minus
Minus what? What are you going to subtract from both sides?
4a.
Subtracting 4a from both sides. Good. And notice I'm writing it under the variable. On the left side, you bring down the number -3 plus a equals -10. Now, again, you look at the side with the variable. Very important. Which side is the variable, the left or the right?
Uh, a middle.
There's the sides are right here. Like this is side 1, left,
Okay. Oh, so it's
side
like
right.
it's under the equal sign. So side left
Yes, left side. So look at that left side. How do you undo -3?
by adding a positive 3.
Yes. So what does a equal? What is -10 plus 3?
-7.
Good. All right. Any questions on that?
Uh, no. So this
Okay.
is
Let's try another one here. All right. So variable on both sides. Okay. Which is smaller, the variable on the left or the variable on the right? The
the variable
coefficient in
on the
front.
right,
Okay. So how do you undo this variable on the right
adding 5n.
to both sides?
Yeah, both sides.
All right. Tell me what to write on the left side, please.
-16 plus 8n equals -8. Yeah, -8.
Good. Now you look at just the side with the variable, just the
Hmm.
side with the variable. What do you, and this is now considered a two-step equation. So you always undo addition and subtraction before multiplication and division.
Hmm.
So what do you undo first on the left side?
The the variable,
You undo addition and subtraction. Which number is being added or subtracted on the left side?
uh, the 8,
8 is multiplying the variable.
like 4,
What about this over
uh,
here?
the -16,
So how do you undo -16?
adding positive 16,
Good. So this becomes 8n equals what on the right-hand side?
24,
Try again. -8 plus 16. You got one positive, one negative.
8,
It is 8. Okay. Now, what is the math operation between the 8 and the variable?
multiply,
How do you undo multiplication?
division,
Okay, so you're going to divide both sides by 8. What does n become?
n becomes 1,
Good.
or just n.
Well, it is n equals 1. That's your final answer.
Uh,
Variable assigned to a number. It's
okay.
kind of a programmatic way of looking at it. Okay, any questions what we just did? I want to give you the chance to solve one on your own here, but do you have any questions? Anything on this that you feel like you don't understand or aren't sure about?
No.
Okay. So I'll often do this in the lesson, especially when we don't have any like practice that you have to do. Always want to have you try a problem because it helps me to know what you understand, don't understand. I just want the final answer.
Okay.
And based on what you tell me, I may or may not ask you some questions in between, but go ahead and give that a try, please, and let me know what you come up with.
Uh, X equals 12.
Okay, and how confident are you in your answer?
80%.
All right, that's better than most students. You are correct. X is 12. Very good. All right, now a slightly more difficult problem for you to try. Um, all right, go ahead and give that a try, please. Let me know what you come up with.
Is it 12 again?
It could be. How confident are you in your answer?
Hmm. Okay. Let's go with
I'm only saying that because I actually hadn't solved it yet. I was looking for some other worksheets for us to work on.
okay. Uh
Do you want to check? Do you
80.
have a question?
Nah, I think it's like 80% again.
Okay.
I don't really.
Okay. So now what do I do from here? How do I undo this 12?
You subtract the 6x
No,
and the
no.
oh,
You undo addition and subtraction before multiplication and division.
ooh,
So which number is being added? Look at the side with the variables. 12 added or is 6 added? I know there's a plus there, but the 6 and the x are squeezed together.
the 12 is being added.
Yes. So how do you undo that?
Minus 12,
Yes.
negative
Okay.
12.
Yep. So what does that become?
Uh, negative 6 equals 6x.
Keep going.
And then you divide by, you add, no, you get rid of the variable, right? So
Well, you
you,
always look at the side with the variable. Your focus needs to be on just the variable side. How do you undo the 6?
a negative 6x.
No. What is the 6 doing to the x?
It equals x.
You
No, the
add,
6 is
subtract,
multiplying. So
yeah. How do you undo
divide,
multiply? Yes, there
you
you go.
divide, sorry.
So I'm always leading you to that sort of thought, like which is it, why, things like that. Any can you give me the final
1x.
answer here?
X equals 1.
Try again. What is negative 6 divided by 6?
Negative 1.
It is -1. Big difference.
Yeah.
Um, big difference. Okay. So we need to look at some two-step equations. Sometimes what happens when we do these lessons is I notice something and then we got to go back and work on some two-step equations. So we will do that now. This is a two-step equation. If you can't, if you're not sure why it's two-step equation, because there's two steps to solve it. You always undo addition and subtraction before multiplication and division.
Mm-hmm.
So look at the side with the variable.
Yes.
I know it's a -3 in front, but
Hmm.
that's multiplying x.
So you
Is the
would
20 being
minus,
added or subtracted?
so you minus 20, right?
Yes.
On both
Okay,
sides.
very good. So now tell me what the right side becomes.
Uh, oh, 20. Oh, sorry. It should be negative 30.
Okay, good.
And
Keep going.
you divide by
By.
positive 3.
You divide by the number that's in front, whether it's positive or negative.
So negative 3.
Okay, so what does that become on the right?
X equals 10.
Good. All right. Here is one like it that you can try. Go ahead and try that on your own, please.
Okay. X equals, hold on. Six, that's 30. Plus 36, 6 and 7, 42. 6 times 8. X equals 8. Negative 8.
Which one is it? 8 or
Negative
-8?
8. Negative 8.
Okay, so we're going to add 21 to both sides. -6x equals 48. Divide by -6, and yes, x equals -8. Good. Very good on that. All right, let's do a few more here. So we'll just switch it up a little bit. Um, Again, you always want to look at the side with the variable first, which is the right side this time. Don't worry
Mhm.
about that number. Worry about what's on the side with the variable. Do you undo the 75 or the 12 first?
The 75.
Yes. So could you try solving this one, please? And if you're allowed to use a calculator, please do. I don't care like what whether you do or don't. Like for us, like that's not what's important to me. So if the numbers are large or uncomfortable, please grab one, or I can recommend an online one as well.
Okay. X equals 9.
Try again.
X equals 9?
Not quite correct.
Oh, where did I go wrong? Let's see. Oh, okay. I see what I did wrong. But negative 9.
Yeah. Now you might not think that's a big deal.
It's a
We're
big
not
deal.
sure why it's a big deal, but it really is. Like there was this Mars mission, this thing that they ended up crashing into the planet. It wasn't a sign error, it was a conversion error. It was like the most basic thing. It was metric instead of US, something like
Mm.
that. But I can give you like examples where it's like, you're driving down the road and, the house is on one side versus the other. I mean, it could be a big deal if you go to the wrong, like it's that important, left versus right. I don't know if you're driving it, you're not, probably not driving yet, but like it's really a big deal in math.
Mhm.
Okay, let's put a few more up here for you to try. That's a good one. This will be interesting to see what you come up with for this. All right, here we go. Take a look at that, please.
Oh, okay. I screwed up. Okay.
Did you add 6 to both sides to start?
No, I did the variable, not the six.
Yeah,
X 0.
you gotta just say, I gotta look at that side, and if it's squeezed up next to the variable, I ignore it. I look at the other thing.
So X equals -7.
That is correct. Okay. All right. Now, I don't want us to not do your problem. So we'll do your problem real quick, and then we'll talk about some other types. But um, this is a disguised problem, meaning like you turn this into something that you, from what you don't know, into something that you do know. You're like, what do you mean by that? Well, we're going to multiply everything in the equation by 10. Okay. Why 10? Well, 10 moves the decimal, doesn't it?
Hmm?
To the right. 31x plus 39. So now you move the variable from the smaller to the larger. So which way are we moving the variable? Are we moving 34x right or 31x left?
31x right. No, right at left.
It's already right, so yeah, it goes left. Good. Negative 31x, negative 31x. See if you can solve this from here, please.
Okay. That's strange. X equals 117.
You multiplied instead of dividing.
But okay. X equals 13.
13, good. All right, we're actually done for the try it out lesson today. We'll just finish with that problem here. Always make sure we get done the stuff